Okay children, today we are going to start a chapter, transportation of substance. So in this chapter we will be studying basically about circulatory system and our excretory system. So it is related to transport of substance. The food that we eat and the water which we drink, those things we know that they provide energy to our body. And usually whenever we take the food, the food which we eat, those are digested and they are broken down into smaller substance and they get dissolved in blood. In this chapter we will see how that food dissolved in blood, it is going to get transport to different part of our body. So it will be a very interesting chapter. Now transportation in animals. So transportation in animal, usually they are of two types: circulatory system and excretory system. So in excretory system, as we know, the undigested, the food, the portion of food or which are not required, and all the toxic and waste material of our body, those substance, those will be getting released from our body in form of sweat and other substance. So excretory system deals with those substance. Now circulatory system in human. So basically in circulatory system, the substance which are required are our heart, blood and the blood vessel. So mostly it is related to heart and blood. Now we are going to see what is blood. Blood is, as we all know, it is a red color fluid which flows in our body, and it is through blood that oxygen which we breathe are carried away in our body. And not only oxygen, various food which we eat, those are digested and those foods get dissolved in blood. So those in that way the blood is able to carry the digested food and oxygen to various part of our body. Now next one is plasma. Plasma is a yellow, grayish yellow kind of substance. So plasma is also a substance present in the blood, and it carries some useful nutrients, gases and other substance like salts and proteins which are required by our blood. Now next which we are going to see is cell. Now we all know cell. What is cell? Cell is a structural and functional unit of life. Now there are three types of cell. These are present in our blood. First one, as you can see out here, it's known as your red blood cells or erythrocytes. Then this one, as you can see, it's just look like a cotton, so it's your white blood cell since it is white in color, also known as your lymphocytes. And as you can see out here, it just look like some insects and all. That's your platelets, also known as your thrombocytes. Now these are the three cells which are present in your blood, and each has its own function. So first one which we are going to see is red blood cell, also known as your RBC in short form, or your erythrocytes. So the reason why it's called red blood cell, because it is red in color, and the red color is provided to this cell is due to hemoglobin. So hemoglobin, it provides red color to the red blood cell. Now what it does, hemoglobin combines with oxygen from the lungs to transport to the body tissue. So this red blood cell, they are carriers of oxygen. So as you can see out here in the diagram, it looks like a bioconcave disc. So there is a hollow in the center. So that hollow substance, it is able to carry oxygen, and it also plays the role of transporting carbon dioxide. So not only oxygen, it also carries carbon dioxide from the tissues to the lungs where it can be breathed out. So mostly we can see that red blood cell, it is related to transportation of carbon dioxide and oxygen. Next one is white blood cell, also known as your leukocytes. So white blood cell, like red blood cell, was related mostly with the transportation of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Leukocytes, it is not related to those transportation, but it is related to immunity of our body. So whenever your body requires immunity power, so those are being provided by your white blood cell. Suppose you are suffering from any diseases like normal cold or fever, that time your white blood cell will act as a immunity guardian. So it will provide some antibodies which will fight against the disease, foreign organism, foreign antibodies which have entered your body. So your white blood cell, they will be fighting off those disease causing germs. But one thing we need to remember is, as compared to red blood cell, white blood cell are very much less. Next one which we are going to study is platelets. So a very important substance, platelets. So whenever you are getting any cuts in your hand, that time you apply various methods to stop the bleeding. Some of them, they just normally apply pressure to the wound. Others, they wash it off with water, then they provide some antiseptic creams. And others, they what they do, they just clean off the wounds, and they just put a bandage on it. But after every remedy, after few moments, what do we see? We observe that the bleeding stops, and there's a you see some reddish brown color layer is formed on your wound, which will be stopping the bleeding. And after few days, children's usually they try to peel it off. That substance, that hard substance, that reddish substance which is formed, which stops the bleeding, is your platelets. So platelets plays a very important role in controlling the flow of blood in your body. So this was platelets. Now which we are going to see is blood vessels. Now the blood vessel, as we see, we have arteries, veins and capillaries. So arteries are the ones which carry oxygenated blood from heart and distributes to all part of our body. So as